Hi, my name's Tracy Purtscher. Glad you came by to see the video. I'm supposed to tell you how my brain works, how I came up with these designs. But first of all, what I'd like to say in the very beginning is thank you to Skacel and thank you to Vogue Knitting. I'm humbled and honored at the same time. Thank you very much for the opportunity. So here we go, real quick, because I only have a few minutes to let you know in on how this brain works. Not so sure myself sometimes. So, you need to know how I got this design. Okay, well, it starts off with a couple things. Chanel inspired, and of course, those of you who have seen my videos from the Fiber Factor competition, you realize that I am kind of stuck in that glamorous Hollywood silver screen kind of thing. So my first instinct goes to Chanel during that type of era. And so I pulled my two favorite, most dramatic, meaningful things to me from my collection of photos. And then I also went and checked out some of the most modern designs. Now, when I think of I start with these different photos, and you can see that they're all kind of the same, but there's a lot of differences in many of them. But what I go through when I first start thinking about a design is I first note, what's the shoulder look like? What's the neckline look like? What about the midriff for the waistline? And then the sleeve, what type of sleeve do I want? And then comes the fabric, okay? And I've got all these different images going through my head. I kind of, for this design, I took kind of the rounded shoulder, took kind of the rounded shoulder look from these more modern silhouettes. And then, but if you'll all notice that every single one of them has kind of the cinched midriff of some sort. And I love this pleating gathering on the front with the close bodice. I think it's flattering to most females, and then I kind of thought I would go short sleeve, wasn't real sure. So what I do next is start with the sketches. Now, here's just a few. Yeah, it's not one and done, it's lots, and this is only a couple of them. Yeah, there's probably all told 45, 50 different sketches. It's got to evolve. It's got to come to be. And then the very next thing that happens in the design process for me is the swatching. Now, once again, just a few. And if you'll notice, none of them in the proper yarns because, first of all, didn't know what yarn I was going to use. Many of the yarns I'd never even touched before or seen before. And I was just kind of try to figure out my gauge and my stitch because the fabric, what speaks to you, what's the first thing that comes to your brain when you think of a Chanel piece? Well, of course, it's the iconic nubby plaid, all right? Well, I didn't want to go that cliche. But I did want some texture. I wanted some nubblies, and I also wanted to add some color to it. Maybe hinting at a plaid, but not really quite a plaid, okay? I wanted it to be mine. So, finally end up with a fabric, which I'm sorry I don't have a sample to give you because, well, once again, me and the yardage fairy didn't get along too well. But this was a stitch for the upper, or for the upper part. And then I made a contrasting stitch. Okay, hope you can see those. You can see them in the pictures in the magazine, I'm sure, much better. I tried it all different ways, all different sizes, all different gauges, all different stitch counts. It's a lot of swatching, a lot of drawing, a lot of swatching, a lot of thinking, and then typically you walk away for a few days and then come back to it and say, what is it that I really want? So that's how I do it. pick just one or two pictures that are my inspiration piece. But in this instance, obviously, I took two from two different eras. Um, these original photos. And then decided on my shoulder, decided on my neck, decided on my sleeves, my midriff, decided on my fabric. And then the very last thing that makes it me, I think, is construction. I like to do things a little bit different. I like to change it up. I don't like making the same old, same old. So the construction of this garment is a little bit different. It's only two pieces, but they're very unique in shape. One almost looks like the outline of a stealth bomber. Fact is, in my prototype, that's what I sketched out on my schematics, was the stealth bomber. And so I have a folder of all my stealth bomber riffs. And that's how it works. Primarily the same way each time, but different inspiration photos will give me different ways to go. Different challenges will give me different ways to go. And let me tell you, I thought it was safe to come out, but bam, another challenge. And thank you, Vogue. I do appreciate it. And I couldn't be working with a greater bunch of people. Hi, other finalists. Miss you guys. Alrighty, so I'm around in the forums, and hope you like my design. See you later. Thank you, Skacel and Vogue. It's been a pleasure. Bye.